Well, here's another WB garden update. It's August of 2012, and things are growing here in the garden, but it's a much different garden than it was earlier in the summer and in the spring. As always, gardens evolve, they grow, they come to fruit, they make seeds, etc., etc. Here we have a lovely New Jersey tea viburnum, at least that's what I've been told. I finally ID'd this plant that I grew from a cutting and rooted it, and it did very well. It's probably not the perfect place for it, but I sure love it. And it turns a beautiful red and yellow and orange in the fall. Here's my poinsettia that I've had for so many years I can't remember. I've been growing it and growing it and growing it, and because I provide for it perfect conditions in the fall, I get beautiful red flowers during December and through the spring. It's lovely. Here's a Yaro plant that I just planted, a Yaro herb. I'm looking forward to that. And I just planted some radishes, lettuce, and garlic for later in the season. The garlic won't be ready till next year, but the lettuce and radishes I hope will do well. My cucumbers are doing fantastic. There's some of those red flowered beans. Here is the continuing story of the giant papaya that I grew from a seed. Pretty amazing. Here's some garlic chives. I chopped those up and put them in salads and soups and with other dishes. They're great sauteed with mushrooms. My tomatoes did not do very well this year. No matter what I've done, they look horrible. I'm getting a few tomatoes, but something's wrong. Don't know what. Here we have thyme, chives down there. Lots of basil is doing great. And the sage is doing great. I just harvested some sage for tea. I have some parsley growing back there, and feverfew has gone to seed, but there are a few plants that are going to reflower. It's a great herb, especially good for inflammation and headaches. Here's some rosemary. I've had that for many, many years. I just harvested some to dry for teas, but it's such a delightful plant. It really is. Okay, let's take a look here. You can see that the sweet autumn clematis is growing and growing and growing, and I keep trimming it. And my beans and moonflower have been climbing and created this little walkway we have to duck our heads through. It's kind of neat. The moonflower hasn't bloomed yet, but it will soon, I hope. Here we have my corn. I know it's really silly. I planted corn in big, big pots and squash, and I did get some squashes, and I do have corn, and you can see it's quite tall. This is blue Hopi corn. It's enormous. If I wish I had a bigger yard, it would be so delightful to have lots of corn. There's more of that red flowered bean. Now, I haven't gotten any beans, but there's an awful lot of pretty flowers, as you can see. Very nice. I trimmed with the Jerusalem cherry. It's looking good. I'm shaping it. Had that for many, 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 many years. It's doing good. Corn, it's everywhere. Ha! Way up there. Alright, you can hear a plane. Here's a rose that's just blooming still. My roses have not bloomed very much. They bloomed wonderful in the spring and early summer, but then they kind of calmed down. You can see some lovely Blackeyed Susans here. They've been here for years. I transplanted them from my old apartment building, and my old neighbor Maria Lopez, God rest her soul, who died at 94. I helped her with her Blackeyed Susans, and this is the descendants of some of those. Let's take a look. This potted cucumber is still giving cucumbers. That's one thing that did well this year, the cucumbers. Here's the backyard garden. Now it looks so different than when it did in the spring and early summer. So you see it's mostly green. There's a few things starting to reflower, but this is sort of a quiet time as far as color is concerned. And you can see that I had that huge wildflower, or weed as some people may call it, up in the flower box. I am debating whether to undo the whole thing and replant some other things in it. But they do keep blooming, and they're just as pretty as baby's breath. I have not been able to ID them yet. Someone told me their grandma called them pissy weed, but I don't like that name. So anyway, here's the backyard, WB Workouts backyard garden. We have some lovely gladiolas that I've dug up for years and replanted. There's a few still blooming. So listen, you all have a wonderful day. Remember, you may be the medicine that the world needs. Think about it, be ready, and have an open heart and a giving heart. You take care. Blessings on everyone, and we'll catch you later. Bye. Mitakuwe o yasun.